You already know who it is. It's your favorite director, Maurice Paramore. We back with another episode. Super excited today.
Yeah.
You always got my brother with me. You already know we in the building. What's good with you?
Man, he died. You already know. Everything's good, man. How's your week been?
My week has been good, man. You know, getting back to some projects. You know,
That's always good.
Yeah. You know, start the year. I wanted to start the year off easing into it. You know what I mean? A lot of times I kind of just bum rush the year. You know what I mean? Then by the summer, you kind of like, you know what I mean? You lost your energy and all this other stuff. Or you just kind of be like all over the place. So
Right.
I wanted to kind of just ease into it. Like, all right, let me feel what the energy got for me this year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to start shooting the first week and all that where I feel like, you know, a lot of times we feel like we just got to bum rush the year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of times we do that and we don't got the direction.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. I'm like, yo, let me just kind of ease on in it, see where the energy's taking me. And now I'm kind of like getting back into production. You know what I mean? I spent some time just kind of like, all right, where do you want to be at? I didn't really make a bunch of goals this year. I kind of just wanted to like organically just attack the year and appreciate whatever is coming. You know what I mean?
Understood.
And attack it like that. So back on some projects. You know, we finally shooting in Recession 2, season 2 this year. Wrapping up The Perfect Roommate. Wrapping up No Turning Back. And then I got some new things hitting. So yeah, I'm excited. What's up with you?
Same, man. Just working on these projects I got coming up. Just new music, working with a few new artists.
Right.
Same thing, man. Just getting in that bag of working and consistency.
Yeah.
You know how it goes, man.
Oh, chill me. Who you telling, man? It was I had an interesting week actually because I had went back to work a little bit. I was working with my uncle.
Okay.
You know, over the last week, and
yeah,
it was cool. You know what I'm saying? You know, me running my own business. You know, I mean, I started my business in 2008, but I've been running it full time consistently for the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And last week was the first week I went and worked for somebody else in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was interesting, you know what I mean? It was interesting to see the perspective of working for somebody else under somebody else's leadership. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I've been running my own company for so long. It was kind of cool to just take a back seat and just whatever y'all need me to do, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That type of thing. Not more or less, you know, it's always good to have a couple extra dollars in your pocket, but you know, sometimes you can get stagnant or kind of lost in your own little bubble when you're doing your thing for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes you want to see how other people operate. You know what I'm saying? So, like, at your job, do you ever look at, like, how the structure of the job is? Like, how it operates? Because I found myself
all the time.
Just paying attention how every aspect of the business works. You know, I was working with my uncle where they make signs for all of these big corporations, you know, sports and all the stadiums and all this stuff, like huge signs, you know what I mean? $1 million business. And it was interesting to see the owner all the way down to, you know, entry level warehouse work, like just to see it all kind of operate. And I think you could learn a lot incorporating that into your own business, just seeing how other people run their business and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I do that all the time.
Do you?
Absolutely. Yeah, all the time. Yeah, because it's like, if you, like, I'm not going to business school no time soon. So I think sometimes seeing somebody actually do the business and how the core of how they formulate their team and the core values and all that stuff, I think is interesting. You know, how they even want to move, you know, the product, you know, stuff like that. Those things are interesting to me. They always been interesting to me.
Just seeing how product get from A to B. You know what I'm saying? Like, you working on a product and then then you see the operation of how it's getting shipped off, how it's getting packaged. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going from, oh, we made this, to now we got to make sure it gets to the customer safe. You know what I mean? And then there's a protocol for that and how that operates. And a lot of times, I don't think we think about this stuff until we actually do. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're pre-thinking it. We're kind of like, sometimes we be in a business and we're thinking about this stuff in real time. We find it out in real time when everything with these big businesses, it's already kind of set up. They already know how they're going to get from A to Z.
Right.
And now they're just piecing everything together. And it's interesting to see it, especially on a level where there's, hundreds and hundreds of employees, and you seeing how this well-oiled machine operates. And like I said, you can take a lot from that. It was funny when I was working, I remember he was like, the owner had came around, and I ran up to him, and it was something that needed to be done. And he was like, yo, go talk to XYZ for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, not on some like, I'm too good for this. It's just, there's levels to what's going on right now. Like, you need to be talking to this person. Like, I don't even deal with that.
Right.
And it was interesting because you realize that somebody on that level, they're trusting somebody else to do another aspect of the business. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think a lot of times when we're talking about being a solopreneur, or when you have a really small company, you're doing so much that you're not delegating certain aspects to the business to other people, which means we're not trusting other people to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? We're like, nah, I got it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And it was to a point where he was like, yo, no, you got to talk to John. You got to talk to XYZ because they handle that portion of the business.
Right.
And I thought that was so interesting because a lot of times we get caught up doing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like at your job. I know it's like, it's certain levels. There's certain people you have to talk to, or whatever you're doing goes to the next department. You know what I'm saying? And then the next department. It's like, I'm not going to run around and do all of these different things.
Yeah.
And even in a small business, we have to figure out how to delegate certain aspects of the business to help it run smooth. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it was, like you said, it was kind of like going back to business school. You know what I'm saying? Because this company is a small company. They making a lot of money. But as far as how many employees they got within the building that we was in wasn't very big. You know what I'm saying? I was able to pretty much see everybody and talk to everybody that was making this whole company run for the most part. And it's like, yo, you'd be surprised what you can do with just 10 or 20 people.
Right.
You know what I mean? 5 people. 5 people can really move some things.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And it was interesting that I was working there because I realized I'm at that point where I'm in that scaling phase. Like, I realized that I've done as much as I can on my own to get to where I'm at, but to get to that next level, I got to scale up. I got to bring more people involved. You know what I'm saying? I got to get more hands on what I'm doing to get to that next level so we can get to the millions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I don't think people realize that. Like, I think we all want to own a business, but some people.
Yes, I don't think business is for everybody.
For everybody.
I think that everybody can deal with business in some type of way. Maybe it's not the actual administrative part. Maybe it's investing. Maybe it's I don't know, holding stocks or shares, or maybe it's being a part of a team, more or less. Some people ain't don't have. It takes, I think, vision. It takes vision to kind of run a whole company. You gotta have a certain type of vision. You gotta have a certain type of you gotta know how to pick the right teammates to make sure that
you gotta be the right leader.
Right. You gotta make sure that you also picking the right people to work with that will help your business run efficiently. You know what I mean? So it's not for everybody.
It's definitely not for everybody, and I think. We caught up in that social media area where everybody's like, yo, you got to start a business, get a business. You got to run a business. Listen, everybody is not built for running a business. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to really know how to deal with people.
Right.
And people got to trust your leadership. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just, anybody can start a company, but we talking about how many people is actually going to be profitable. How many companies is actually going to be profitable. Right. You know what I'm saying? And
how do you face not being profitable? You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. That's a whole nother... I think it's a lot of things to it. You got that psychological part to it, the physical aspect. Like you said, you got to be social. Right. Some people get annoyed quick. You know what I mean? It's like you got to be able to have the right attitude to be able to talk to somebody. And, even if you have to go and show them how to do a job, you might have to come out the office and be like, hey, look, this is how this job needs to be done. So.
And you got to You got to know when it's time to lead and when it's time to be a part of the team,
right,
and get busy. And one thing that I was peeping at, working that job, I seen an owner getting busy.
Right.
Now, I was telling you certain things he don't do. You got to talk to this person, make this. But when it came time to getting his hands dirty on certain aspects, he was right there with everybody.
Right.
Getting it, letting y'all know, I'm not asking you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself. You know what I'm saying? That's one. And people respect that kind of leader. People respect working with somebody that, you going to help us carry the bags as well?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that says a lot about the leadership, but it also takes a certain type of person to lead that many people. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And listen, it's hard enough to lead yourself. It's hard enough to get yourself out of bed. It's hard enough to get yourself to the gym.
Now, but if you're talking about discipline. Yeah,
we talking about discipline.
Another major factor.
But when I think about like the arts and stuff like that, when I think about film and I think about music and groups and stuff like that, listen, man, we need a lot more Tony Yayos out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody want to be 50 Cent. Yeah. We need more Tony Yayos. We need more people that is supporting the bigger vision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think everybody, and that's one thing I miss about the groups, man. We don't have groups anymore.
Right.
Like, we don't have the big R&B groups, the boy bands, you know what I'm saying? The girl groups and all of that. But you could learn from a Spliff Star, a Tony Yayo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These people that are just like, you have the vision, you're the star. Right. How can I help move this forward?
Yeah, support that.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes to with like a business. You know what I'm saying? Some people aren't meant to run the business. You're good enough to be a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, if we had a lot more people have that understanding, it'd be businesses galore. It'd be a lot of things moving more efficiently. It's just I think it's just the culture of how we're taught about, like, you know what I mean? Like, people think, oh, you're number, you know what I mean? Like, you're number one. Oh, he's number one, so he's better, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. But it's not even that. It's like Jordan said, like, one of the biggest things I ever, when I was seeing, I think it was the Jordan documentary or something. Okay. That Jordan said, people keep saying, who's the best player? He's like, who's the best team?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who's the best team? If people start understanding that's the aspect of what we're trying to build, then we would have more flourishing of the businesses and things
clans and more bigger movements. I was talking to my boy a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about possibly joining a fraternity. I ain't gonna say which one and all of that, but I was asking him why he wanted to join a fraternity at this age. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was like, it's really about the brotherhood and the team and the organization and the connection and stuff like that.
Right.
And I was like, yo, damn, you know what I mean? I'm surprised it's not more people joining fraternities in their 30s and 40s or creating this type of brotherhoods. Maybe not, fraternities and Greek life and all that, but just starting that type of organization, more of them, because we could do more if we actually put ourselves together. Like,
absolutely,
like build a team and stuff like that. And I realized that, I don't know what the statistic is, but I'm telling you, you know how many businesses are started with just one person? Not partnerships. One person starting a business with no partners or no employees.
Right.
I mean, countless. I mean, I don't even off the top of my head, I don't even think I know anybody who has a business that also has a partner.
Mm-hmm.
It's not many.
Right.
And we're wondering why most businesses are failing, why they're not going anywhere, why you have to put too much time in yourself. Like, it takes a lot to run a business. It takes a lot to do anything alone.
Right.
And I'm guilty of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, running my company for 15 plus years. But it's a reason why it's like a method to my madness. You know what I'm saying? And, it kind of goes with my personality of being like, the only child and all these things, you know what I'm saying? But I also grew up in a community where we was tight, you know what I'm saying? Like, growing up in Chateau, you was never alone, bro. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was always a bigger movement. Like, we never moved anywhere alone. For one, it wasn't smart, right? You going to house parties and stuff like that, all these small towns going. So, it wasn't smart to be alone, but we actually thrived on that movement. You know what I'm saying? Of just, okay, we going to the mall and the movies 10, 20 deep. We going to these parties. We playing ball 20. It was always that community. And I think we need to start applying that more back to business and movements and art and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. But like I said, it goes back to that one aspect of, people got to see that vision, that big vision of being able to. Sometimes I think people don't understand. Sometimes even to be a great leader, you have to be a great soldier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody's not meant to be the general, and it doesn't. And I think everybody just thinks because a person is the head that he just the all that. Nah, sometimes the head just better at vision.
Just the thinking part.
You know what I'm saying? They just better at like, yo, I know who works right. I know who to put in position. I know who to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why they there. It's not because they're better than you or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's plenty of street businesses, regular businesses, people, they would say, listen, man, I wouldn't have been nothing if it wasn't for my team. You know what I mean? I was just good at, this person go here. I was good at the strategies.
Yeah.
And
how
so
to move people around.
Yeah, we just gotta I think when you put the ego aside, we can formulate those things that you're talking about.
That's a big portion of it. You brought up ego.
Yeah.
It's a lot of egos. Men struggle with that a lot.
Yeah, it's in nature. It's in our fabric. Because because we're competitive.
Everybody want to be the
We play ball. We're gonna be competitive. We play anything we do. So that's in our nature. We I think we gotta learn to have camaraderie versus like I'm just first than you, but just like healthy camaraderie. We need that.
More, yeah, you know but I mean? it's you need one person that knows how to work with all these different personalities.
Yeah,
right. That's what I learned about being a director. A film director is interesting because you're dealing with a lot of personalities, and everybody has their own mission. Everybody has their own way of going about things, right? So when you're doing a film project, you have to get all of these people to believe in one idea, and the move is one, right? One band, one sound. Like, I don't think people understand that concept to the fullest. Like, understanding, listen, this is what we on. And I know we all got our individual things going on, but this is what we on right now. We have to move as a unit. One band, one sound. If everybody on the line is not operating on the same wavelength, the sound is going to be off. The music is going to be off. I think people can learn a lot from that concept, right? And I think that's why it's important to be involved with these type of things, right? That's where you learn a lot from playing sports. You learn discipline. You learn being on a team. You learn
working with all types of individuals.
Yeah, I can't go right when everybody else is going left. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it does take a special individual to be able to blend all of these personalities and make them work, right? And I always think about like the Wu-Tang Clan. Like how did the Wu operate the way they did? Because you got to think about it. They all had completely different personalities. Yeah. You would think like, how you going, like, Old Dirty, like how you going to tell this brother what to do?
Right.
Great Ghost. Like these guys was all savages back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But it took one person.
Right.
That knew how to blend them all together.
Yeah, how to talk to them.
So, but it's compliments on both of them, right? You complimenting a RZA that knows how to lead them.
Right.
But you got to compliment all the members that knew how to like fall in line when for the greater good.
Yeah, for the greater good.
And everybody can't do that, bro.
I think to do that, right, to me, the best teams, like the best of the best, they run with principles.
Right.
They have certain guidelines to what they do. I don't care if, they was a team from, somebody in the, street. Right. Street aspect, regular business. All, even business has a certain, what do they call it? I forget what they call it, but like, they have like some type of principle thing for their company. I forget what I'm trying to say, but
Oh, like, yeah. Like just their philosophy.
Yeah, they have a philosophy for their business. Everything. And I think that's how you get those things. You have to set out rules or regulations to how
principles.
How we gonna run this, what we about, what we what is our
standard operation of procedures, like your SOPs and your principles. It was funny, man. You remember we was both talking about that book from Ray Dalio.
Oh yeah, Ray Dalio, great book.
He talks about principles, and he was like, "Yo, he has principles for his life, and he has principles for his business. Like almost like this is how I operate,
right?
And regardless of how I'm feeling, I don't sway,
right?
This is what it is. If you want to work for this company, it's certain principles that we operate on,
right?
And I think." If you're going to build a team like that, you need to have that same type of structure. You just can't have everybody out here like the Wild Wild West doing whatever they want. It's like, if you want to be a part of this, these are the things that you have to follow. Yeah, I know you're going to sway a little bit, but we always got to come back to this main thing. You know what I mean? So, but you got to think about how many people is going to have those principles in order. I'm pretty sure RZA had certain things in order for that to work. He didn't just have everybody just doing what they wanted. It wouldn't work like that.
Yeah.
So, okay. You could be the leader, but show me that you're somebody that we should be following.
Right.
Show me the vision and show me not just the vision, but how we're going to make this vision work. You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's important. I think it's important with groups.
You know what I was thinking about? Mission statement.
A mission statement. Okay.
You got to have you know what I mean? Mission statement of, that's what I was thinking about, mission statement.
Yeah. That's a portion of it. Yeah. But you got the mission statement. That's the overall goal, right? That's the overall vision. Yeah. Then you need to have your steps and your principles and your operations of how we're going to make this mission happen.
Right.
That's the four. A lot of people have that mission statement and that goal, but a lot of people don't know how we're going to even get to that.
Right.
Now you think about when you operate in businesses or you go in a lot of organizations, that's the first thing you probably going to see is the mission statement. This is the mission we on. That's cool. All right. Now, how are we going to get there?
We follow what's been given to us. We follow the rules and regulations that have been given to us.
Yeah, but
with whatever our creative process or whatever we here to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we need more of that, bro. We need more of that. I think it's too many people doing their own thing. And again, I'm guilty of it. I think a lot of me falls into my personality, but at the same time, I've always been okay with hopping in the back seat when I need to. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
I never mind anybody driving.
How long we known each other, right? Like now we know this journey for almost over 30 years, right?
Easy.
And I've always been with the team aspect.
Always.
You know what I'm saying? Always been with the team aspect. Yo, blah, 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 I got to show up. Yo, listen, the set need this. I'll go run out and get this. I'll go bring this. I'll go ride up. I'll go hold the microphone thing to tape the recordings and all that. Because what I grew up in that.
Right.
You know what I mean? I grew up, I seen my pops doing that and his people doing that. Right. So it's like I see what you could pull off as a together, what y'all could pull off as the bigger vision. You know what I'm saying? I think just everybody's not into understanding the what y'all can create together, man. Like some people you go get one bag. It's like, yo, why get a bag when you could build a well? Yeah. Where y'all can keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We can keep coming. All right, yo, you need a little something. Oh, we can keep coming back to this well. I'm about building wells.
Yeah. Not just the one-offs.
Not just the one-off. We get one bag. What is that? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We build something that we can continue to come from to the point where, our families can eat off of this. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how we got to look at things now, because that's what it is. Look at the times we're in right now. Yeah. The only thing that's going to defeat what's going on right now is unity.
Yeah.
You know, unification with whether it be more family, whether it be, friends, whatever y'all decide to do. Yeah. The only way you're gonna make it through all this mess that's going on right now, even with the economy, is that you got to have some form of a group to deal with it.
Right.
You know, we can't just deal with it all by ourselves anymore.
No,
so we got to have group think. We have to think more like like a mind, like-minded
people.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Where you getting people together that all got one common goal.
Oh, you can't. It's hard to stop that.
You know what I mean? Like-minded, common interests. You know, I think part of life is just finding your group of people.
Right.
Like, finding your tribe, yo. And what I learned about life is whatever you into, there's somebody else out in this world that's into the same stuff that you into.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what we need to be associating ourselves with. Like, listen, I'm on this. This is what I'm on. You might not be on that, and that's cool. But I know there's somebody out there that's on what I'm on, trying to go where I'm going. I don't care what you're trying to do in life. There is another person, good or bad, that is into the same thing that you into. If you need to go to New York, if you want to go to New York this weekend, I guarantee you there's somebody else that want to go to New York.
Right.
And y'all can get in the car together instead of driving yourself.
Right.
You want to start a record label? There's somebody out in this world that wants to start a record label too.
Right.
If you want to sell coffee beans,
right,
there's somebody out here that want to sell coffee beans. So my thing is, we need to start building with like-minded people.
Right.
We need to start building up our tribe.
Right.
And understand that everybody's not going to be on it.
Right.
Everybody's not going to be into it, but there is people that are into what you into.
Right.
So there's no reason to say, oh man, ain't nobody on what I'm on.
Right.
Trust me, there's somebody on what you
Now, let me add something to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we're going to formulate these businesses and stuff, or these groups, you be saying that we need to make sure that we have principles in place. We need to have structure. We need to have some rules. So everything that we can agree on to keep us together. Because what happens is, if we just running and we don't have no structure, then we just doing shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think creates the chaos. Yeah. Because if everybody's just running and we don't really have no structure to where we're going, somebody might say, you know what, I'm gonna start running over here.
Right.
This person gonna say, you know what, I agree with it. I'm gonna start running over there. This person say, oh no, I'm not. Forget them. I'm gonna run over here. And then that's when you start getting division.
Right.
When you have principles, you have rules, you have regulations, you have mission statements, you have stuff in order. Now everybody has a goal to how are we gonna get to this destination.
Right.
We got a map. You know what I mean? To how we gonna get there, and how this is the way that we're gonna get there together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I challenge everybody to start creating some partnerships. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your own thing. Everybody got their own thing, and I think I'm gonna keep referencing Wu-Tang because I think we all understand and know the story.
Yeah.
But we could learn a lot from them. What they also did, which was dope, they had the group Wu-Tang, right? And they all had a Wu-Tang deal, but they also RZA was able to get each and every artist individual record deals.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, it's okay. We all got our own thing.
Right.
You can have your own thing.
Right.
Do your own thing. Have your own businesses. But it's also cool to have a partnership with somebody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or a group partnership or a group investment. You know what I'm saying? Let's all go in on this real estate investment. You know what I'm saying? Or this one idea. Or even if, it's not your bread and butter, put your money up with 10 other people to do something. You know what I mean? Starting some kind of brand or, brick and mortar or whatever it is. I think we need to challenge the brain more to like, okay,
we need
egos.
To create ecosystems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need to create these systems because this is what brings in the wealth. Like the people that we so-called hate, or we feel like, oh man, they just making all the money. They work in teams.
Yeah.
The most biggest people, they work in teams. Yeah, they might get a little dirty, lawyers and all types of stuff business wise, but they work in teams. Facts. It's teams. You know what I mean? And they have that agenda, and nobody's bigger than the agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody's bigger than the program.
Yeah.
We learned that early and often, especially in sports. You know what I'm saying? You can have all the talent in the world, but you're gonna fall in line. That's just how it is. But no, I think you can get a lot out of investing as a group and building as a group, and we need to be figuring that out more. And
practice.
We need to be
practicing it more. I think we're not good at it because we don't practice it enough. Yeah,
it's not on our. It's not on our mental.
We're not culturally designed, or we don't design ourselves like that. But I think if we, like you said, we take the challenging, we start challenging ourselves, we can figure out a way to be like, I can figure out a way how to work with this person over here.
It's exposure, yo. You don't know what you don't know. Now, it's not an excuse, and it's not going to help you for what you don't know. But we're not exposed to these traditions and operating in that space. So my point is, if you don't hear it enough, if you're not exposed to it enough, you're just not gonna know. You're not gonna care enough to even operate. So my point is, we need to start talking about this more. We need to start putting this into practice. Like, okay, now this is what we're doing. Now we starting businesses up. We starting partnerships up. Like, we need to put it out there more, so it's in people's trajectory of like, okay, yeah. Nah, we need to do more of this. You know what? You got to think about it. We spend a lot of time around the same people, and we spend money around with the same people. You got to think about when we used to hang out like that, like when we used to go to the clubs, right?
Right.
Think about when we used to party heavy back in the day in like Philly and stuff like that, right? We'd be mobbed up in the club.
Yeah.
10, 15 people, we'll all go to the club, spend $100 a day. That night, literally, we all been to the club. 10 of us ended up spending $100 that night. $20, $30 to get in, $20 for parking, spend $50, $70 on drinks.
Yeah.
Easy. Right? But how many times have that same group put that same $100 into an investment together to get that money back or to 10x it? How many times have you ever done that with the same people that you spent countless money with?
I can count on my hands. Not a lot.
And if you count on your hands, you talking 1 or 2. You ain't talking 5.
Yeah, we ain't talking a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I thought about that one day. I was like, I thought about all the times I've hung out, spent money, blew money, did all kinds of stuff with my friends, but yet I have never, or not said never, but I haven't spent enough on investments with people that I'm with all the time, that I trust, I spend money with. I ain't never invest with them. Unless you get into space where now this is what we on. But I'm just talking about naturally in general. We so easy to I've had situations at parties and events where I'm like, we need to raise $100 to throw this party, or not to throw parties to make money, or we all going to this club, you know what I mean, for the section. You know what I mean? It's gonna be $1,000 for the section. Everybody got to put up $100. We cool to do that, but when it comes to investing,
you know what it is? I don't know. I think we afraid because money is a crazy thing, because I think it can separate people if you're not thinking about what y'all doing the right way. Like, if you're not thinking, if everybody's just thinking bread versus like the opportunity of what we can make, it can get messy. And I think that's why a lot of people we don't do it a lot, because we already act like, it's gonna get messy. You know what I'm saying? We get to this mark with money, it's gonna get messy. And I think that's what it is. We get scared of that part. Like, I might not be friends with this person.
Money now.
Yeah. But I feel that. But get what I'm saying? It takes a certain mind state to, like, I could put up $100 with you, and I'm like,
easy.
That money's gone. I don't even care. I already know that money.
Whatever it's going to do.
Whatever it's going to do is going to do. And that's my personality. That's me. But somebody else, they can't take that L like that. Somebody else can't see the money, be like, all right, we building this much and I'm only getting this a little bit. But it's like, bro, we all getting the same.
That's what it is too.
You feel me?
You know what it is? People can't see like what I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, it gets to that, That's why I think it is a lot of us is. But see, that's why I was saying. But see, look, that's why I'm saying I think it's important. If y'all gonna do business together, y'all gotta have it outlined what's really going down. So if it's 10 holders of, okay, this product or this, whatever we doing, this business,
whatever we on,
it's 10 people involved, it's 5 people involved. Okay, this is what everybody gets. Period. A certain portion goes to everybody.
Facts.
A certain portion goes back to the business. That's how you gotta think. A portion of it goes back to the business. Period.
Nah, they want
no matter
money
what
up front.
That's what I'm saying. That's why people won't do it.
Everybody want their money up front.
Yeah, but that's the reason
how much
why
I'm getting back
do.
from this. How long?
Right, but that's
people. They're not used to investing. Like they don't have. You know what it is? Most people don't have the patience enough to stick with something long enough.
Oh yeah.
So when people start investing and stuff like that, the first thing they want to know is like when I'm getting my money back.
Right.
So when you tell somebody, okay, we just tell the average person, this money needs to sit in account for a year. Can you do that? They're like, nah.
Right.
I did an investment last year. Actually, it was 2024. And I was at InvestFest in Atlanta. It was my first time there. I know you've been there.
Yeah, I've been there for the first one.
And I was finally able to get there in 2024. And I was locked in, you know what I'm saying? And I was soaking up the game for investment. I wanted to invest more. I wanted to be around other investors. I wanted to be around the energy of investing, the energy of putting out to get more. You know what I'm saying? 10Xing what we doing. And it was interesting that around that time, a friend of mine that I went to college with, an investment opportunity happened right around that same time. And that's how I learned. That's how I know energy is so real, because me and my friend never did any investing together. But what I was attracting this energy because I went out to Atlanta to InvestFest. I was posting all weekend about investing and putting money up and how we multiply this. I was putting it out there. And a friend hit me up and was like, yo, I got this investment opportunity. A couple of our college friends is all putting in on it. I'm like, all right, what's the investment? You know what I mean? What it is. He was like, all right, this is a possibility. This is how much we might make back. But the issue is we might have to put this money up for anywhere from a year to 3 years. And I'm like, okay. It was a big investment. I mean, I put up over 20 grand for this investment, right? That I had to put away and banking and hoping and praying that it comes back 10X, 3X. But my point is, I had to give it, and I knew for at least bare minimum a year ain't nothing happening. Right. And the point is, most people don't have the discipline to wait it out for a bigger opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, yo, I'll give you this $100. I'll give you this $1,000. But I need my money back in a month. And if you tell somebody, yo, we're going to put this money up in a pot for a year, or we're going to grow this money for a year, the average person can't handle that. So what do you say to the person that doesn't have the commitment or the discipline or the will to like, yo,
don't do it.
This is going to take longer than you think.
Don't do it. You're not that type of person. Don't do it. Because I think investment is just period in general. When you put something up, it's gone already. That's how I look at it. It's gone. Wow. And it's going to do it's going to do whatever is you going to put it up and you're going to put it in. There's no guarantee. It's just you got the hunch or you got the feeling that this could be good. You've already measured that out. You know what I'm saying? So when you give it, it is what it is. Yeah. So it's like you kind of got to like, it is what it is. I'm taking that chance. Yeah. It's no different from taking a chance on somebody out on the street. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's taking a chance. That's what investment is. Yeah. So it's like, I just think you gotta be able to, if you can't do that, then that's not what you meant to do. You know what I mean? Like to me, even personally, right? Me going back to what we was talking about business, right? Everybody can't do business. I think when I was saying that you have to find your sector of business.
Right.
I personally would rather be in an investment area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the person, I don't want to be in offices for hours talking about what we're going to do. Y'all got a team, y'all got that. Show me the numbers. Did the numbers make sense to me? Did the idea make sense to me? Did this make sense to me? Then yeah, let's put up some money. Right. But if it don't make sense to me, then I'm cool.
Then you off of it.
I'm cool. I'm only investing if it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just think that if you're not that, if you know what I'm saying, if you gotta get your money back right away or whatever, I wouldn't do it because then you're gonna be freaking yourself out. You're gonna be, you know what I mean? You're trying to.
They always say, don't invest anything that you ain't willing to lose.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And but it's not like gambling. You know what I'm saying? It is.
No.
It's very strategic. You know, you're going with it. You're taking all the information at hand, and you're going into it that you're going to make something back, or you're going to make your money back, or you're going to make something on top of that. So it's not like you're just throwing it up in the air and hoping it sticks. You know, you're doing your work and you're vetting out situations, and you're like, you know, I think this is going to make sense. But again, it's got to make sense for you.
Right.
You know, don't, like you said, don't get involved with something that it doesn't make sense for you. You know what I mean? But we have to learn more discipline, man. We especially now, we living in the microwave era where it's like everybody want everything right now.
Right.
But are you willing to let something bake and cook for a year or 2 years or 3 years?
5 years, 10 years.
You know what I'm saying? Like big stuff. Like you got to think about it, man. Like I've been at this game for a long time, man. Just filmmaking alone, man. I started my company in 2008. You know what I'm saying? I was doing films. I was doing short films for 5 to 7 years before I got back to feature films, before I made $1. Like, how much time are you willing to commit and put up before you start making an actual dollar? You know what I mean? And when you start talking about a crew and business and partnerships, when you building a business, you can't keep taking from the pot.
Right.
You got to let the pot sit. You got to let the pot grow. We got to reinvest. Every dollar that's coming back in, we got to reinvest it. You know what I'm saying? So you need the right people that are
understand that.
Understand that. They not like.
And that's why I said. That's why I said before. I don't even know if I said that during this time or whatever. But me personally, right? When I even deal with other people, right? I gotta see that people are more in tune with the vision than the actual money being spent. If you're in tune with the vision, I'm cool working with that.
Right.
People that's just so concerned with the money, I'm cool. Like if I'm working with an artist, I'm trying to see gauge where their passion is. If their passion is more about the art, the work, solving a problem versus getting money from the problem we solved, I'm more with that type of person. Okay. I like working with people that's trying to solve the issue, the problem, because when you, like I said, when you solve these problems together, when you come up with answers and you come up with solutions, that's the money. Right. You know what I mean? If we can make, why go for the bag one time? Right. You get what I'm saying?
You could be doubling up.
It's about systems. Yeah. When you look at any business, any corporation, they're operating off systems. What has already worked? It's nothing new under the sun. It's just, okay, this is a newer system. You know what I'm saying? This is an older system. This is a newer system. But if you look at any investment firm, investment team, they have rules and regulations to what they do. They have a system. We all gonna invest in this, and we only spend this. Right. We only spend $20,000 if we are of our investment. We don't go past that. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's a lot of psychological play you have to get through before you even say, all right, let's do this. Let's invest in something. You know what I mean? You have to really think about the bigger, what are you trying to create and what are you trying to build? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's funny you talked about like what was it? There's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
And reinventing the wheel. And I think a lot of times we constantly we trying to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
And sometimes it makes sense to try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, it does.
Sometimes,
yeah.
But that's a very small percentage of
right.
trying to be super innovative where it makes sense. A lot of people like what they like, and they like to be familiar with certain things. And it's so funny when I remember when I went to this film festival in Detroit, and I went there in 2023. It was the summer after my mom passed, so I was dealing with a lot that year, and it was around the time that I kind of started getting back into the mix of filmmaking, and I had a film out there, Ambition, and I went there to represent the film. And I went to a couple panels, and I went to a couple things like that. And I remember this guy, big filmmaker out in Detroit named Dennis Reed. You know him. He's all over Tubi. And he was talking about his business. And when I tell you this guy is about his business, he about his business. Great artist, but he's about his business.
Right.
And he was talking about his process and everything that he was dealing with when it came to filmmaking. And he was like, he was making money with his films. He was doing a certain type of film. Very Tubi-ish, very dark dramas, thrillers, everything that's kind of catered towards what works for Tubi. And he was like, one time he had did a film that was very artsy, that was very different, that was very outside of the wheel that he was doing. And he said he lost $100,000 doing this film that was different, that was artsy, and I wanted to challenge myself and I wanted to do something different. And he said that was the first mistake that he made in business. He said, yo, don't always try to reinvent the wheel. Stick to what works. This is working. Stick to what my guns is. And the minute he tried to go outside of that and try to do something that he didn't have proof and he didn't have like the data that this would work, he fell right on his head. And that was interesting, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we are trying to reinvent the wheel, but we know what works. My point is, a lot of times we know what works, whether it's for the industry or we know what works for us. And for whatever reason, whether it's for the other person, whether we trying to satisfy something, whether it's in ourself or partner, whatever, we go against the grain. We go against the will. Think about it. In a relationship alone, you know what you're looking for in a relationship. In a friendship, you know what you're looking for. When you go to a job, it's certain expectations that they're expecting from you, but you're also expecting a certain thing. You're looking to get a certain thing out of a job. And my point is, a lot of times we know what we want. We know what we expecting. We know what we're looking to get out of something. We know what we like, but yet we reinvent the wheel and say, okay, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with you operating like this. I'm okay with you treating me like this if you're in a relationship, right? But you know this is not how you operate. You're reinventing the wheel for what reason? This is the type of relationship you want. This is the type of principles that you stand on. So my point is, it's not just business, it's in life. We try to reinvent the wheel sometimes, and we have to just stick to what we know. What we know is right, what we feel. And I think we can go a long way like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting how life works. It all comes back and forth. You realize that certain things in life, you think it only works in your relationship. Then you realize this is the same thing that works in business. You think this is how you operate in art, and then you realize that this works in a relationship. You know, so we have to be in tune with all of this, all of everything that we're thinking about, our lives and all of this stuff. And a lot of times it all go together. And like you said, ain't nothing new under the sun, but also ain't nothing new under the sun with how you operate to a certain extent. Like, you know what you want and what you coming for. And a lot of times we go against that because maybe it's the other person. But just stick to your guns. That's one thing. Not only don't reinvent the wheel, or sometimes you have to stick to your guns. You have to stick to what works for you. And like you said, if this ain't you, don't get involved.
Yeah. I agree.
You know?
You gotta be thick skinned.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a lot of psychological it's a lot of psychological things that come with this. You know what I'm saying? 90% of this is really it's in your head. You know what I'm saying? 90% of it is in your head. You know, 10% is the work and getting up and going to do this and that. But 90% you have to, you know, I hate the word motivate, but you gotta self-motivate yourself, and I like discipline more, you know, discipline. Yeah. But you know, the word is motivate. Yeah, to motivate. But
motivation don't last. But
it's if your mind is not in the, I think it's just if in anything you do, if your mind is not in the right space, none of it is going to work.
Right.
Your mind has to be in the right space. That's why you have to have the right people around you. You have to have the right relationship in your life. You have to have the right financial whatever. You have to, all those things have to be a certain way for things to operate, you know, for your mind state to operate at the optimum level. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's just you gotta decide, like you said, what's right for you. Where do you fit into all of it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't go by the pressures of what people are saying. Mm-hmm. Don't go by the, you know what I mean? People could be wrong. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
People can be wrong. You know what I mean? Shit, you could be wrong. But you got to find something to stand on. And you know, that's just the nature of it. You got to find somewhere to be and stand on, and that's the nature of it. You know what I mean? Nature of the business of it.
Absolutely. I think you hit it right on the nose, man. I think we need to be very intentional with what we're doing. Understand what you're trying to get out of a situation. I think the best way to operate in any setting, any group, business, boss, relationships, anything, is understand what you want to get out of it, and not in a selfish way.
Know what you sign up for,
but just know what you want out of a situation. And I think if you know what you're looking to get out of a situation, you'll know how to navigate in a space where there's going to be other things that's happening that may not be particularly catered towards you. But it's like, yo, listen, I'm only looking to get this out of the situation. Anything else is a bonus.
Yeah.
I'm with whatever. As long as I get this little thing out of the situation, I'm cool.
Yeah.
What else you need? Whatever else is going on don't really pertain to me. I'm cool. That's your business.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to get out of this situation. And that's how I always treated jobs, man. I've always been a self-motivator. I've always been disciplined. I've always kind of moved to the beat of my own drum. That could be a good and bad thing, you know, depending on the situation. Yeah. But I've always known what I wanted to get out of the situation. And that's why I've always operated when it came to jobs and stuff like that. And we'll get out of here after that. But it's like with jobs, like I know, like now, like I might be running my own company for X amount of years, and then I might go back to a job. Reason why jobs don't really get to me, man, because I know I'm looking to get a certain thing out of this situation.
Yeah.
And then everything after that doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I look at it the way of like it's a partnership, more or less. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, I'm here to do this. I could quit whenever I want. I can leave whenever I want. Nobody's keeping me here.
Nobody's keeping me.
It's just, all right, this is what we're doing for right now.
This is it.
This works for right now. This is what I need to do to get to this level or whatever. Don't be in these groups or these different job or anything you deal with the wrong perspective.
Right.
Adjust your perspective. When you adjust your perspective, then you understand, you see the bigger picture of why you need to be there for a while.
Right.
Or why you need to do this for a while. Yeah, it probably sucks to go to work and be 9 to 5, but you know this is fueling your dream or is fueling the investment that you're trying to get into.
Right.
Look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I would say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, know what you're getting into it for, and take it for what it is. And like you said, when you know this is, especially when it's a small portion of thing that you're trying to get out of the situation, like I look at a job, okay, let me get my couple dollars for the day, and then I move on with my life.
Yeah.
And that's really it. I don't really think about it anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, this portion might be to fund my bills, then my business and everything else is that's to build the fortune. That's the investments and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's something to do. And sometimes you just need to change of pace, man.
Yeah.
You know, don't ever be afraid to switch it up. You know, if you feel like you've been stagnant or you've been kind of just dealing with one way of operating for so long, sometimes you just got to switch it up. Like you just need some fresh energy. If you've been working for home for X amount of years, or your business is at home and it's like you just want to be around coworkers, or you want to be around just some energy, or you've been running your business so much that you want to see how, again, like we talked about earlier, you want to see how other people operate. Like, okay, what could I learn from this business that I can bring back to my business?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And learn how to scale up and operate and have employees and stuff like that. So, you know, that's all it is. Just figure out what else can you get from a job. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's a paycheck, but if you open your eyes up, especially if you want to start your own business, or if you have your own business, if you open your eyes up enough, you can learn that there's something that can be gained from working here, and not just a paycheck. I might learn something that I can bring back to my business and scale it up and stuff like that. So, you know, all goes back to being intentional, knowing what you want out of a job, not treating it for more than what it is, and don't take none of this stuff personal, man. You know what I'm saying? What I learned, don't sweat the small stuff, because it's all small stuff.
Right.
And that's kind of how I live my life, man. Like I don't give too much energy, too much time to things that don't matter. And ultimately, you need to put in place things that are aligning with what you're trying to get out of life. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, find what you're into. Say yes to everything that you're into, and say no that doesn't serve what you're trying to do in this life. So whatever you're trying to get out of it, like if you're going into a partnership, you're going into a business or an organization, just know what you're trying to get out of it, and then anything outside of that, keep it moving.
Right.
Let's just keep it light, you know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much all I got for y'all, man. It's been a long day, man. I can't give y'all too many jewels, man. You're going to have to start paying for that, you know what I'm saying? But, this was a great conversation. I think we hit on a lot of good points. Actually, some stuff that I need to write down and take it into the next endeavors. But I'm excited. New year, man. New energy.
Yeah.
Let's keep what we doing all year round. Let's keep building. Let's build up some partnerships. Let's build up some organizations, and let's take this thing to the next level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Anything you want to say?
Nah, man. Just keep thinking bigger.
Bigger and better. Everything to the next level. Everything next level, man. You know, we trying to take everything to the next level, and that's it. So you already know. It's your favorite. Follow me on Instagram at DreamBoyVision. Look me up on Facebook, Maurice Paramore, your favorite director. I'm on TikTok, but I don't be posting on TikTok. I don't really understand TikTok. I got a Twitter account too, but don't tweet me because I ain't on there either. I'm on there, but I ain't on it. That's one social media site I've never got to understand. I never could figure it out. People still be on Twitter?
Yeah, I'll be
well,
they call it X now.
X
something
now.
X now.
Yeah,
so
it's
it's
X,
X space or something like that now.
I don't get it.
So yeah, it's different now. But
yeah. But we on there, man. Recession season 2 coming out. The Perfect Roommate, that's coming out this year. No Turning Back is coming out. Blind Loyalty should be out in a couple days, couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all know about that. Got a lot of projects coming. Learn From Your Enemies is out. Stevie Franks, E. Dot.
Yeah.
We just getting started, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything that you've seen up until this point, ain't
yeah,
nothing,
we here to
man.
get on your nerves.
Yeah, y'all gonna see us every week.
Yo,
I want y'all to. I want y'all to be tired of us. I want y'all to be. I don't want to see.
I want you to point at me like, I'm tired of this guy.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm tired of
I'm
seeing
tired of
him.
seeing talk crack.
Yeah,
Crap.
yeah. So
You know what I'm saying?
I'm here to get on your nerves, man.
Yeah. So
2026. So
we
that's
lucky
how
we
it's
don't give y'all 2 days a week, but right now we're gonna give y'all 1 day a week, and if we get to 2, then we might get to 3. We don't even care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, all right, man. We'll see y'all next week. I'm out of here. We tapped out. We got work to do. Y'all got work to do. We'll see y'all next week. We out.
Peace.